In 2003, a few friends sat at a Long Island bar and decided they wanted to make a gesture toward the servicemen and women who were sacrificing so much for their country. They organized a benefit for Lieutenant John Fernandez, who had lost both legs in Iraq. Then one of them, Chris Carney, volunteered to bike across America to raise money for the Wounded Warrior Project, an organization dedicated to helping these wounded heroes. In the fall of 2004, Chris completed his coast-to-coast ride.
Got on a bar stool and drank some beer and ate a cheeseburger and said we need to do something for the troops, and turned it into $1 million effort. That's what America's all about.
We then went out and wanted to find a bona fide charity that was actually taking the money and putting it in the hands of those soldiers.
See, a guy named John Melia, who was wounded in Somalia, thought, you know what, when I was injured, they forgot some things.
You know, they're coming right off the battlefield with just the things that they have on their bodies, and that's how they're going to get home to the States.
Here I am, young guy, and I lost a leg. I'm not really feeling comfortable in my own skin whatsoever.
What we want to do is to make sure that these people understand not only that we care, not only that we love them, but we got a lick of common sense. So what John has done is he's put together these backpacks.
Some people would think, and it is a bit deceptive, that the items that are in the bag are a bit unusual, you know, like a deck of cards and an Instamatic camera and a phone card and stationery. For some of these people to have material to be able to reach out to their family, it's vital.
Well, it's a very good project. I mean, it's a project that begins by saying we're not going to forget.
I want to live in a nation where we stand behind the people who have stood behind us.
Their spirits are good, their morale is good. So I think they understand that they've got, it's going to be a little tougher down the road, but they're alive and they could make a contribution.
And now I've been supported by the American people, and it's my turn now to step up with my buddies and take care of these guys coming off the planes, you know, tomorrow and the next day.
So I think we've created a movement amongst the soldiers, but I also think that we've created a larger movement in the country to recognize these men and women for their sacrifice, for their commitment to us. A little girl came in this morning and she had $50, and she said that she was saving to buy a bike and that she wanted it to go to a backpack. See,
and we have third graders that have come up to us with checks for $700 they raised through bake sales and car washes.
Kids, little kids, you know, giving up, you know, stuff like that.
Then in 2005, Chris again embarked on a cross-country ride, only this time he was joined by Heath Calhoun, a double amputee, and Ryan Kelly, a single amputee. 8 weeks later, one leg between them, Ryan and Heath completed their amazing journey with Chris. They were joined along the way by dozens of other soldiers who were severely wounded serving in Iraq and Afghanistan. In 2006, SoldierRide made a third trip across the country, this time with Drew Biddle, Igor Bondarenko, and many more combat wounded veterans. Igor, who lost an arm in Iraq, dedicated his ride to his close friend Mark Maida, who had died alongside him when he was injured. Since then, the Wounded Warrior Project has sponsored several regional rides that empower wounded soldiers. They get these soldiers out of their hospital beds and onto a bike. They bring them into the communities that they serve and have sacrificed so much for. And they enable these young men and women to set an example of what can be achieved to the incoming wounded.
Injured April 6th last year.
In Husayba, Iraq. Small mine blast.
By roadside bomb.
And took my left leg with it.
Took off my foot.
Took off my right leg above the knee.
It snapped off my leg. I had my right leg above the knee amputated.
These young men and young women have given until it hurts. Why don't you give until it hurts?
It's one of the great ways that we can help, because those soldiers have to go on with their lives forever changed because they sacrificed for our country, and we, I think, can owe them a debt of gratitude and whatever we can do to help. I think we should do it.
There are many ways to reach out to these young men or young women.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people around the country say, yeah, we're all for the soldiers, we're supporting all the way. Well, put your money where your mouth is.
Write a check. Write a big one.
If you lend a hand, you're of service to somebody else. It gets you out of yourself, and you really feel like you've accomplished something that day.
I can't think of a better way to honor the ones that are over there than by helping the ones that are wounded that are here.
From that day on in SoldierRide, I now have a bike that I love. I've done triathlons, I've done bike races, and it's all due to SoldierRide and coming the first time. So it's really gotten me back out there and doing things I didn't think I'd do.
So pretty soon I'll be walking, and I can't wait. I'll be off to the races, and they won't be able to stop me after that.
You have the physical side, and you have the psychological side, and SoldierRide kind of addresses both of them.
The Wounded Warrior Project also sponsors many other recreational and rehabilitative events that include hunting, skiing, kayaking, and track. The Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization dedicated to assisting this new generation of severely injured servicemen and women. They are dedicated to making sure these wounded soldiers are not forgotten. They sponsor a wide range of programs that assist soldiers who suffered traumatic injuries and their families. Whether it's delivering comfort backpacks to the newly wounded at their hospital bedside, offering job programs, or lobbying Congress for veterans' benefits, the Wounded Warrior Project is there. They enable vets to help vets, and they help educate the public about what is needed and how they can help. The Wounded Warrior Project. Help us help them.